Welcome. You're listening to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. Join our epic pro staff around the sonic campfire for stories and adventures from our eastern mountains to the Chesapeake Salt. Let our highs and lows inspire you to take to the outdoors.
Hey guys, you are listening to the Rotten River Pursuits podcast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Better the Hunt. Have you ever been on stand when it's so cold that everything you touch sends an icy shockwave through your body? What do you do when the opportunity of a lifetime presents itself and your hands are so cold you're not sure if you can even hold your bow? Do you wish you could change that? Then head on over to betterthehunt.com. They offer the insulated bow mitt to help keep your hand warm and ready for action in some of the toughest conditions. The bow mitt is offered in 3 mossy oak camo patterns as well as a solid black and attaches to any bow. Better the Hunt also offers the pack rat system, which is a must-have for any hunter looking for a hands-free approach to keeping his rifle or shotgun secure while he's traveling through the big woods and high mountains. If you are ready to hunt smarter and not harder, then check out betterthehunt.com. Better the Hunt, it's what they do.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sean from Rotten River Pursuits podcast, and today we got Will with us here. And
hey, guys.
Hey, and we are out. We did a little turkey hunting this morning. Set up on some birds, had a lot of fun. I saw a little bit more than Will did, but
oh yeah, bless your heart.
You've been a good guide for me lately.
You sent one down my way. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I didn't ask. Didn't it come into range or what?
No, it definitely did. It was a little bearded hen, like tiny beard, legal to shoot in PA, but I wasn't, we saw it was a hen and it.
You waiting for that big boss gobbler?
The big boss hen.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I might have pulled the trigger on that. I never shot a bearded hen before, so I don't know. I would have had to think about that one.
Well, this one, I was told that there is a hen with a decent-sized beard on the property, and we were looking pretty hard to see it, but it eventually stuck its head up and chest out, and there was this little nubbin just sticking.
About an inch long.
Yeah. So it was fun. I
had a fun day, though. I was sitting in the blind, and we managed to see 6 turkeys out of the blind, 4 hens and 2 gobblers. The 2 gobblers were pretty nice. They had, I'm going to say 7 or 8 inch beards, 2-year-old birds. They were nice, but just didn't want to cooperate, didn't want to come into the decoy, and I knew it was either take a shot or don't take a shot, and I shot, and I learned the difference between a hole in the blind, what it does with the shotgun and what it does with the broadhead. We were looking at the blind and saw broadhead holes through the blind, and I think, ooh, that's no broadhead.
Yeah. So, you're literally 350, 400 yards away, and it's like a completely different world.
Yeah.
I couldn't see your blind because I was down below you a little bit in elevation, but at this, it was not very far, and you saw so much more than than I did.
The top of the hill, I think that probably had a little bit to do. That was always when I turkey hunted out. Always started at the top of the hill. Work your way down, but always start at the top of the hill.
Besides turkey hunting, do you have anything new? We haven't talked to you in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Been doing a lot of fishing lately. Been doing really good fishing. And taking a couple guys out. Actually, a funny story. Last week I had some guys from Long Island go fishing with me. And one guy, really, really good nymph fisherman. He was catching a lot of fish. I said, what are you getting them on? Because he's a really good fisherman. He actually just goes along with his buddy who's a decent fisherman, but nowhere near the level of this guy. And I always just work with the other guy. And he wanted to learn how to wet fly fish. That's my cup of tea. So I was wet fly fishing with him. And the other guy, he's a good nymph fisherman. He was just pulling fish after fish. And we're talking, he had
chubs.
No chubs.
What?
He had, yeah. I didn't take him to our secret chub hold down screen.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I keep that for...
Still safe.
I keep that for you.
For relatives.
Right, yeah. You and Stevie, if I can get Stevie up, I'll lay him out in that hole. But no, this guy caught, I think he said 6 trout over 15 inches.
What?
And I said, what are you getting them all on? And he pointed in his fly book. He said, this right here. And it was a size 22 pheasant tail. And I started tying instantly when I got home. I started tying a bunch of 22s. And just to take a picture, I put one on the internet, and I had 6 of them laying on a dime.
Yeah.
And there was still tons of room on that dime to put another 6 or 10 more on it. That's how, to give you an indication how big of a size 22 is. And he even caught one that was about a 17-inch wild brown close to the shop. And when he caught it and landed it, he lifted it up and he said, look here, there was a size 22 nymph stuck in its cheek. So that's what they're taking now. So I've been doing real well on size 22 flies lately. And had a couple big ones there the other day on them too.
That's awesome.
But yeah, fishing's going real good until yesterday whenever
we got all this rain.
Yeah. Yeah, Noah's Ark come down the stream there this morning, I think, and it's been bad around here after that rain, but maybe next week.
And you're pumping out the videos. I've been watching that.
Yeah, we've been really working hard on the videos. We're shop-wise, I'll just throw that out there right now. We're in the process. We've been in the process of trying to build a new website, and that's a process in itself. Especially when you're talking a store with the variety we have. Like I was telling the guys here, we have 1,600 different items, and we have to inventory all that and put it all on and put pictures of, 1,600 different colors and of dubbing and different things like that. And it's been real time consuming. That's a lot of the reason why I haven't been around lately.
Yeah.
But once we get that up and running, then hopefully I'll have some time to breathe it. But by building the website, it'll increase our time because it's going to streamline a lot of the things that were taking us a lot of wasted time.
Yeah. Inventory issues. I know if you go to a show or something like that, you didn't know if it was being bought on eBay, and that was a lot of messing.
That was the hardest thing. Like, people don't realize, and that's part of the issue with why we're having so much trouble with the website is our store actually has we actually have 3 stores. We have the physical shop, we have a website, and we have an eBay store. And if one sells in the shop, we have to physically get on eBay, take the product off of eBay, then get on the website, take it off of the website. So there's a lot of work involved in it where this will kill 2 birds with one stone. And
that's awesome.
And we only have to manage 2 different things.
So you only have you have to open up another business to keep up with all the...
Yeah, well, business is booming, and I'm already looking at knocking down a wall and spreading out.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I was just saying, what are you going to do with all that time? You could probably start another business.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can build onto my guiding business a little bit, but... Yeah, I mean, and like I said, and the bigger the shop gets, the more videos I get, the more people want to get to know me.
Well, if you want to, I think if you want to get your guiding business up, invite that guy back out from Long Island.
Yeah, he was good. I give him a lot of credit. He's fun to fish with. He's a good guy.
That's good. So I'm going to save my what's new for because one of our guests was with me on the.
In the blind with you.
Well, yeah, he was in the blind with me this morning, but this last weekend we were out at a turkey event, and so let's take some time to introduce our guests. We're here with the Back 40 Seed Company. We got Brother Roy and Dr. Bill.
How's it going?
How are you guys?
Good to be here. Thank you.
Doing great.
Awesome.
Glad you guys come up and turkey hunt with us today.
It was a blast. I'm thankful I got the invite. For me, it's just across the hill, but for Will, it's a trip. But.
Yeah.
I wish I could have put you on some more birds, Will.
Just one tiny bearded hen is perfect for me. Don't worry about that.
And Sean had all the birds up there with him.
I was hogging them.
No, that was it. Hunting's hunting, and just being out and being out with the guys, it means a lot. You guys have a beautiful place up here.
No doubt.
Up in the mountains here, and the food plots are pristine, even for this time of year.
And we still got lots of work to do.
There's lots to eat up here for the animals. It's incredible.
Well fed deer.
Yeah. Oh, I can see
and
that.
turkeys. Yeah.
So But yeah, so my new thing, we kind of talked about it on another episode that we recorded earlier. But we were up in the up with the Bearded Buck.
Yep.
And what'd you think of that place?
That was something else. I wasn't expecting that when we pulled in there.
Just this incredible,
beautiful place,
beautiful palatial, ranch that has, and it's in Western PA.
Yeah, those pictures I saw, that was nuts.
Yeah, it was something else.
Yeah. I mean,
I was glad I got to go because it was good guys. We got to meet a lot of good guys. And it was a good time.
Yep, there was all kinds of salespeople and marketing people and vice presidents, and that covered the whole gamut. And everybody, you had to literally ask those people who they were, because none of them cared to tell you. They were just just Rick and Bob and this and normal
they were
dudes.
just normal people. Yeah.
Yep. So that's what makes this industry so cool, is that you just get to meet nice
good people.
Yeah.
Everybody cut from the same cloth.
It seems like it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but that place is like Catfish said. He's like, I pulled up to the one barn and there was some trucks out front of it, and there's a camper and this and that. And he said, it's a pretty nice little camp, pretty nice little hunting camp, it'd make anybody. And, but he's like, there's no one around. So he said, that turned out to just be a garage, be a little barn. And, he said, I didn't until I walked up there and saw where everybody was. He said, this is the camp? He's looking around.
And I saw pictures of the pole, and it needed either a video or a widescreen, or 5 pictures. It was amazing.
Yeah. So big, had a
panoramic of the pool.
Right. Okay.
Playboy mansion of hunting camps.
Yeah, it just kind of, the pictures I saw just kind of put me in the mind of like a golf resort or something like that. What you're, except with deer heads all through it.
So thank you, Jerry Tibbett, for having us up there and sharing your place with us. And the Traegers were going nonstop, and all the food and meat you could think of, king crab to,
it was good.
Backstrap, and Brother Roy brought us some
the morels. Brought lots of morels up.
A backpack full of morels. It was pretty awesome. That was literally like the icing on the cake. So thanks for bringing that.
Yeah.
And some of our guys hadn't had morel before. So, So that was great.
I think I'm literally the only person in central Pennsylvania that didn't hunt for them this year.
And they were everywhere.
The past 2 weeks, that's all that's been on my news feed on Facebook is morel pictures.
Yeah.
All the way down.
There's morel hunters, but Brother Roy's a morel picker.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
I usually don't have to hunt for them too hard.
I'll keep an eye out when I'm walking up and down the stream while I'm fishing, but like I said, I get free time. I'm usually on the stream, not walking around in the woods.
It's incredible. Yeah, you're not going to tell anybody your secrets, are you?
Oh, just putting the legwork in.
Yeah.
You got to walk and walk some more.
Sometimes
I'll walk 2 miles before I even find any. I walk and just keep walking and walking, and I'm like, I'm going to run into him eventually.
Until you find that first one. It's first one.
Until I find the right trees. That's my biggest thing, is following the trees.
Yeah.
He'll check a lot of trees before you're finding mushrooms. There will be 200 trees under your belt before you find the first mushroom. And then
once
all
you
of a
get
sudden
in them,
he starts laying
you're into
them.
them.
It's funny. I remember I used to hunt them a good bit, and when I did, it was always finding that first one. And then once your eyes seem to train for that one, then you could just look around. Well, there they are all over the place. But until your eyes get trained to picking that form out of
off the ground,
out of the leaf
everything else
flutter.
that's on the ground. Yeah, once you find your first one and you just look around, and the next thing you know, it's just bam, bam, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one.
I think one of the guys were joking, and they're like, oh, just, if I see your truck parked alongside the road, I'll follow you, And he said, just because my truck's there doesn't mean I'm hunting morels there.
I might be parked there, and I might be 2 mountains over.
The guy that worked with my dad, and I worked... For you guys, you all know what I mean, but the guys on the podcast don't. I worked up in Bulls Creek, and I worked with a bunch of Bulls Creekers up there, and, they're all big mushroom hunters. And one guy was at work, and he was out the road from my dad's house. His car was parked out there, and my dad knew what he was doing. He was up on the mountain hunting mushrooms. He said, hey, I saw your car parked on the road up there. What was you doing up there the other night? And he goes, I was, my beagle got lost. I was trying to find my beagle.
Not bad. That's pretty good.
That's great.
I don't think he even has a beagle.
There's more than one person that looks for Roy's truck, though.
Yeah.
I do want you to know. There's people around.
I hear from lots of people, hey, I've seen your truck sitting along the road. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You've seen my truck, but you didn't see me.
It's a decoy.
That's awesome. So what do you guys have going on? I know coming along with the Back 40 Seed Company.
Yeah,
this is a big deal for you guys.
It's a big deal. We're in the process of it right now, and hopefully, what do you think, Bill? In the next
2-3 weeks, we'll have seeds ready to
seed for sale.
Ready to sell, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing food plots now for 6 years back here, and we finally figured out what grows great in the eastern, central Pennsylvania to just the East Coast, Northeast.
Sure.
And we're trying to market that now and get the seed out there for other people in the same general area that grows good. And we've had a lot of failures of putting seed in that we've bought from, not saying I'm going to name any of the companies, but we bought big name seed that you can buy in Field and Stream, Cabela, stuff like that, and it doesn't do nothing for us.
Yeah.
And we finally figured out the strains of seed that grow good here, and our fields look phenomenal.
Yeah. And have you noticed population changing, the animal populations and
enormous.
Yeah.
There's a giant difference. Food plots work, and what we did here, there's deer in the area, but the food plots, the idea for the food plot was really to bring more deer into the area and onto our farm, and then to secondarily to keep the deer here, and which we've been doing. Mm-hmm. And then we make the deer that we have here a lot more healthy than what they started. We have, which we can all see it actually from where we're sitting right here. On the farm here, we had a doe that had one horn. So I don't know how you could possibly do a more accurate test of the deer that stay in your area. Even to put a collar on a deer, I don't know what that does to that deer or how they behave if they have a collar around their neck. But this doe had a horn on her head, and that was all it was, and it never left. So we had seen her, what was it, 8 years?
7-8 years.
7-8 years in a row.
She was here.
The same doe.
So stayed on our property.
Whenever you're seeing her,
we have all this game laying around and other people hunting, and she stayed right here.
She stayed. So did some of the other does. She wasn't the only doe that stayed. So because we got to see her here, we knew that was keeping the does here. And folks will often say about the bucks and what they do and how they roll over one ridge to the next over the rut. They do. I'm sure of that. We have some home range bucks here. I think a lot of them stay here, and we have deer that are coming from other properties to come here because
we have the does.
Yeah, me and Roy always said it. We're running like the prostitution ring here, like whitetails. So we got the whitetails here that that all the bucks are looking for.
Yeah,
and we have a lot of them, and we have a healthy fawn population here every year. Really healthy fawn population here, which that's what we're looking for. Nice big fat. Chunky does and big fat fawns running around all over the place in the spring, which they should be. What they should be dropping here real
soon. They should be.
Yeah, real soon. We're going to start looking for fawns out here. But it's definitely worked for us, and we keep getting better at it. But like Roy said, we've had a lot of failures. Some of it didn't go as what we were planning, and we have had test plots every year. We try different types of clovers. There's an enormous list of different seed that's available, and so what we were doing, we were just kind of going down through each different variety of seed, and some of them worked here. If you see a seed that says clover, there's a long list of different types of clover
there's so many
seed.
different types of clover
Some
out
of them
there.
work
We've
well,
tried a lot of them.
Some of them work better in the south. Some of them work better up here in the northeast, and we got it pretty much pegged. And
I was just going to say, you found the one that works here because
you see our field up there?
Yeah,
Will didn't get to see that field up top yet, or the logging road. I need to get him up there today.
I took Sean for a little walk whenever we were out there looking for
it was
feathers, for a feather.
The Wizard of Oz, the Yellow Brick Road. Just this clover patch cut through the.
No, really.
Yeah, and a big trail through the woods. And thick. Don't see the ground, just thick clovers.
It's giant, heavy,
big giant. Yeah. Oh, you're talking like 1 inch clovers, 1 inch
each leaf.
Yeah, big
each petal.
leaf.
Sure.
I saw a picture of a 4-leaf clover.
Bill sent. We were up there hunting.
Fit in the palm of your hand.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Is that
but
more luck? Is it when it's that big?
We're hoping so.
Unfortunately, we found that after I shot at the turkey.
Yeah.
Then we walk over and find it.
Into the blind.
Should have took the tour in the morning. Yeah. Bring some extra luck.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was impressive. I've never seen anything that big before. It's like you got it at Costco or something.
Yep. And that wasn't our first variety clover. I mean, that's probably that's probably number 6. That's
probably
that's
5 or 6. 6 years we've been doing it, and
we started blending our own
year.
seed, and we found out like blending our own seed actually worked a lot better than anything that anybody was trying to blend for us and sell us at a really extremely high price. So, we started blending our own mixes, and we do our own soil tests, and so it just seemed like a good idea for us. So thought it was time. Time seemed right.
That's great. And so, what are we looking at here as far as like topography? Like, how many acres are you planning right now? Your home.
We were planning. I don't know about 12
somewhere.
Well, we lost that lower field because the property got sold, and we can't plant it anymore. So we're probably down to about 10 acres or something planting.
Yeah, gotcha.
And we're only sitting on 45, 46 acres, I think, somewhere right in there.
Yeah, and then you're surrounded by a bunch of big woods.
Big woods. We got 600 and some acres of game lands above us, and a lot of private land around us. And I mean, for our 40-some acres here, it's amazing what the food plots do for our.
It's a smaller piece of land. I mean, and not that this is even that small, but it is possible to manage a smaller piece of property, and regardless of the surrounding property and so on, we're able to manage the deer around here, and we do a pretty decent job. All of us that hunt here, myself and Roy and his uncles and so on, we all hunt here, and we're pretty selective about what we take. We're selective about the bucks. We're extremely selective about the does. We're not fawn shooters. We try not to take
button bucks, no little ones.
Bucks. 1-year-old
mature
does, 2-year-olds,
yep.
3-year-old does. Those are good breeding stock. We try to get the big old cow-faced does that have had 5 and 6 different sets of young.
Well, yeah, when they're here, you can do that. It seems like you guys have a nice little selection, so that's awesome. That's definitely a testament to what you guys.
And I can tell you some of the bucks that I've let walk by. I'm thinking, why did I even let that walk by?
They get bigger when they run away. Their horns grow a little bit. Yeah. It does seem to happen that way.
But that's what another way to get big bucks is.
Yep, let them grow.
Let the little ones go.
Yeah, and that's hard. This is not something that is easy to do in Pennsylvania, especially when your land borders game lands.
Yeah.
It's uphill.
Yeah, I mean, we're down here hunting, and rifle season comes in the first day in the game lands, and you're just hearing the banging up there, and you're like, oh, my, they're killing all my deer.
We think about it and we talk about it, but Roy and I are trophy hunters, but I don't encourage hunters to be a trophy hunter. Each hunter has their own level of trophy, and I think any whitetail in the state of Pennsylvania is a trophy.
Absolutely,
regardless of the weapon that you use to take it with. And we're primarily archery hunters, and any deer I think taken with the stick and a string is a trophy in the state. And because of what we do it just because that's what we prefer to do. But if there's a buck that each individual has to decide what their level of trophy is, and I think they're all trophies.
You're absolutely right. That it's all in the like we always say, you probably heard, is if you're embarrassed to show off or have shot an animal, you probably shouldn't have shot it. It's no. But if you're putting meat in the freezer, I get a handful of opportunities every year to 1 or 2, 3,
That's
whatever.
right. I mean, time has to be figured into the size of the trophy. If you only got 3 days to hunt out of the year,
you better shoot something.
Yeah,
that's a trophy right there.
Don't be picky.
Yeah.
No. My freezer's full. I'm less picky.
Yeah. And there's lots of years. I know last year I killed a decent buck, but the year before I let a lot go. A lot pass by, and I didn't kill one. I didn't get a buck that year.
Serves you right.
But
no.
It didn't bother me because I knew next year.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, you guys are definitely doing good work, and we only got to see a tiny sloth of of this.
We'll have to get you back here in the middle of summer once we got everything planted and stuff's grown. And
when does the planting and so what happens now? What's your maintenance kind of field?
The first thing it's going to be
schedule look like?
Get rid of this mud.
Yeah,
because you can't do nothing in the fields till the mud's here, and it'll probably be. We'll start out with doing some mowing first, and then we'll go in with spray for weeds and pretty much turn the fields brown.
Gotcha.
And then we'll start planting. I mean,
fields that we are going to start from scratch, we completely wipe the field out. And the first thing we do for everything, I got to say, I mean, we test. We soil test every plot that we've ever put in, and soil tests. That's the most important thing that any food plotter can do. You have to test the soil, and it makes so much of a difference as far as like it's going to save a lot of money, like in the long run, as far as fertilizer goes and so on. There's some very basic steps, and a few of them that are not hard to do, and it just increases the quality of your plot. And food plotting. And I was talking to Sean and I were talking about this morning whenever we were seeing all the turkeys.
Yeah.
So we had very little time to talk because we were seeing all the turkeys. So you guys got a lot of conversation in, but we didn't get that much time. But between one of those times there, we were talking about
it's a good thing I edit this thing.
Yes.
Just kidding.
That just chopped right out. Chopped right out. But we were talking about that, and what we're doing around here, like as far as like the feed and the deer and everything go, we're bringing everything in here, but we have a lot of game to see, and we have stuff that we're able to bring folks in, and that like look at our turkeys and all that kind of look at all our deer and all that kind of business. But we put a lot of work into it. There's a lot to it, and it's a lot of fun. That's food plotting's a fun thing, and it's not just that way. We aren't just hunting just during deer season. Everybody likes to put a seed in and see something grow, and we're doing this all year round. We 12 months a year.
Put a seed in, watch something grow. Put trail cameras out, watch stuff come in and eat your food. It's amazing.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of fun. Yeah.
There's definitely a sense of satisfaction you can get from doing the food plots. There's so much you become more in tune to your ground, to your hunting situation, but you see, you get to see the fruits of your labor. For a guy who's not doing that, he's going out hunting on the weekends or whatever. He's maybe getting lucky. Maybe the big buck walks in, but you're seeing that the deer's coming into your food
they're
plot.
coming in.
And it makes you want to put in the time and stuff like that. I can totally get it.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. It definitely works. Yeah.
After you, this is back to the process. Once you spray, the weeds, and you can take it down to just bare ground. How much time has to go by before you can start to seed? Or
once we put the spray down, we wait 2 weeks till everything's dead, and then we'll turn it in. We'll either disc it or plow.
Gotcha.
And once we get the ground prepped where it's suitable for putting seed down, then we select what kind of seed we want to plant in each field, and we fertilize. We put the fertilizer down and lime down as the soil samples recommend.
Yeah.
And then we put the seed down and call to pack it or drag it and hope it rains in.
So that brings up another question for me is, say you run the soil samples every year. What do they come back different every year?
Always.
Yeah, they vary every year.
Yeah,
for what you're planting, too. I mean, it all depends on what you're planting. Certain plants take different pH levels, and
And we'll
higher
deplete the
nitrogen.
nutrients.
Everything's just, and we try to rotate every year that we can. I mean, our perennial clover and stuff, it lasts 3 to 5 years if we maintain it. Fertilizing, spraying for weeds, grasses, like that, it'll last 3 to 5 years. But now we do our annuals, our turnips, and radishes and stuff like that. We rotate them every year to a different field.
Our food plots seem to, which I mean, ideally we try to stay 50-50, 60-40, right in that range, perennial, annual, and it's just kind of makes for all year round nutrition for the deer. So we have 12 months out of the year we have food coming up out of the ground that's nice and green. Wow. And the deer are very appreciative of it. I know.
Oh, yeah,
they're always here.
Like this field you can see right out the window here, that's all yellow.
Yeah.
That's all turnip and kale that went to seed.
Oh, really?
It went to seed. There's tons of food in that right now. Like it don't look like much, but that stayed green. We planted that last summer.
Yeah.
It stayed green all winter and then grew again this spring once it got warm out. So we have deer in it. I mean, you should see what that looked like when it snowed. It looked like looked like a football field out there with people running around it. Like I mean, the deer just had it.
Played,
It was just tore to shreds.
Wow.
Spray in the field, I mean, incidentally, I'm just going to throw this out there because a lot of folks don't spray their fields first. And the reason we do that is because we want to kill any of the weeds that were there and that are on the field already. If you turn soil down, and we usually, if you plow, it's a foot or so, and a disc is less than that. How about that? But if it's real easy to turn seeds from the weeds down into the ground, and they can stay dormant for years. A weed seed can live underground, and then if the following year you disc that back up, you might disc that weed right back up on top. So we try to spray them all, so we do the best we can to try to minimize the weeds that we need to spray later on.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the idea there. So we're not tilling in a weed seed. Everything's dead.
Gotcha. And this is primarily mountain ground, so, I'm sure that poses some challenge in itself.
It's a challenge. It's definitely mountain ground over here. But the one nice thing is a lot of these fields used to be farm fields at one time. We don't have anything flat but one field on top of the hill.
Yeah.
Everything else is steep slopes.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge to do them slopes.
Yeah, it looks,
it's interesting out there in the tractor and on the slopes.
I bet.
Then you get everything planted in, you'll get a thunderstorm in, and then you got all your seed washes off.
Oh, boy.
And we've got an endless supply of rocks. I don't know how that happened. We got a bumper crop of rocks. We never seeded and put a rock seed.
Yeah, but it seems like every year you tear the ground up, you got to pick up the rocks. Holy God.
So, and some of these old fields is kind of neat. This was Roy's grandparents' home here, and through the years, we will be cleaning off a field or cleaning off a logging road, and we're piling the rocks out, and we'll see a pile of rocks that's been there it's a 50-year-old rock pile.
Yep.
And his pap put them out there like years and years ago, so we see they've been picking these rocks out of these fields for a lot of years.
Yep, and they just keep coming.
They keep coming. It's a lot of work, but it's but it is fun. If it was a chore, we wouldn't do this.
It's fun.
That's
why we're trying to do this seed company thing here, where people can buy seed from us that grow good in
and
Northeast.
Enjoy it, truly, yeah.
And have good luck with it, because we've already failed with a lot of stuff. We know what to plant now.
Yeah.
And we can help save that step of somebody planting for a year or two and be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore because I can't get nothing to grow. Well, if you follow our steps with what we've learned, already failed, you'll have success with it.
So are you currently consulting right now? Are you taking... helping other people with their food plots?
We've been helping some people right now. We're going to get big into it once we get everything rolling.
Sure.
With this new business.
I'm sure there's a scale up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm helping just friends and some people here and there. And, your mom wants me to come to her house and look at some ground for her. And I'm going to definitely do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely a must.
Yeah.
They just acquired some... an extra piece of property.
But we're definitely going to do some consulting on everything, and
so that'll be good, to make it applicable to somebody else's.
Yeah, everybody should have a little bit of something planted somewhere for the deer if they like to hunt.
Yeah,
or the turkeys even,
Yep,
true enough. Yeah. We're passionate about this whitetail thing, and so are you guys and the folks that are listening. We just have this thing for these whitetail deer, and a lot of people, maybe don't get it or whatever, but just to sit and to watch them, we all do it. And Roy's family's here, and there's a lot of windows right here where we're sitting, but they have some of this design. This design is so they can look out the windows. That's what they're for. So we all kind of are cut from the same cloth here. Everybody kind of likes doing the same thing, and just to be able to see them is a whole lot. Just you were saying that earlier, Sean, about being able to see the turkeys. It's not necessarily the harvest. It's it's just being able to be out there and to spend the time out there. There's nothing better for us.
No doubt. I'll tell you what, this property is like the poster child property for a seed company because of its terrain and the rolling hills, and you don't have to have a farm field to have a food plot in.
No, you don't.
I'm looking, and you're almost a 45-degree grade on the hill behind your house here, and there's a beautiful plot right on it. That we're looking right out.
And we have old logging roads like that clover you seen up top. That's an old logging road.
And
the power line,
up a hill, down a hill, around the bends.
Yeah. Anyway, we have one section up there we cleared out. It was nothing but brush and trees, stumps. We went through there with the tractor, pulling stumps, pulling bushes, building brush fires on it. We got it cleared, and now we can plant it. And you can make a food plot anywhere. It just takes a little bit of time and work.
It doesn't have to be a giant piece of property. Food plots are. There is such a thing as a small plot. People put them all over around their hunting areas, and it doesn't have to be a big, giant piece of property. We have other stuff here and bigger equipment, but that's not always necessary. There is such a thing as, one of our blends is a throw and grow type thing, and folks like going out and being able to at least try to be able to get something on the ground.
Rake the leaves back, plant the seed.
It definitely works. Even, small's okay. It doesn't have to be a big, giant plot.
Yeah, you definitely do. You don't always need we have a tractor and farm equipment, and it's all old stuff. But, you can do it with four-wheelers. We spread all our seed by hand and fertilize it with a four-wheeler, and we spray with a four-wheeler, and we're not – it ain't no big expensive equipment we're using.
Right.
And most of the time we're pulling it back into the garage halfway through and welding something, fixing something, fixing a tire. It's
just part of the process.
It is.
We saw some other animals benefiting from the food plots today. That
squirrels.
Squirrels are mad around here. They're everywhere. There's so many squirrels, and they got a little pond down here that we got some wood ducks.
Yeah, you got all excited when you seen them, huh?
They come out into the food plot, and it's their kind of nesting, breeding season too. Like ducks are all nested up, and they come out in the food plot, and they're pretty big for ducks. And
they were far enough away that they looked like turkeys.
We thought they were two turkeys, and
still got the binoculars out.
Got the binos out there. They were.
He's like, they're wood ducks.
We have some Olympian groundhogs around here too. The clover's taller than the back of a groundhog. If they stand up and you're just seeing the top of, you see them from the eyes up. And so Roy always called them clover clippers, and you can see them. But we have some Olympic groundhogs and some Olympic rabbits around here. It's pretty amazing.
Boone and Crockett.
Oh my God, yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, big stuff.
You guys are in the process of working on the website.
Working on the website, getting the seed in the packages, the labeling, the whole thing. It's a lot to do.
I know you've got lots of help and consults with some of our buddies at like PA Rut, and we're all talking social media and unrolling that. So this is a big part of it, but just getting a chance for us to just sit and talk with you guys about the food plots and the process and seeing your land. This is definitely very, very cool and eye opening for us. It's one thing to hear about you guys on another podcast,
but to be able to actually see it and
hey,
they're guys that know what they're doing.
It's a different level,
Walking through that clover is a little bit different even than seeing a picture.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that was impressive. That was an impressive patch of clover, and just how it just keeps rolling over them hills.
It keeps right on going.
Did you eat any of it?
No, I didn't eat any clover.
It was delicious.
Cutting back on my fiber.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's too green. It's too green.
You mentioned the PA Rut Report. I do want to throw a shout out to PA Rut Rob. He's been a lot of help to us and walking us through a lot of this stuff that we didn't really know about, that I didn't know anything about, as far as like hooking us up and with the website and all that kind of business. And we have a website, and we're in the process, of getting everything all squared away. But we are to be www.back40seedcompany.com. So we have the domain that we were looking for there, and so I think that's going to help us out a whole lot. And as far as once we get up and we get rolling, I don't think that it's going to be too much until hopefully we're dispensing some seed out to some folks and helping out some food plotters. We're going to be at Cabela's on June the 10th. We're going to have a booth
in Harrisburg.
At the Hamburg. The Hamburg Cabela's. We're going to be there, and we'll have a booth there. And it's a kids' day, so we're going to be doing some stuff there with some seed for the kids and so on. We got some ideas to help out there. So.
Yeah, that's great. You'll be going up there with the PA Rut guys?
Yeah, I think PA Rut Rob's going up. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, yes, we're pretty excited. It sounds like we might be. I think we're on to something here.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty excited about it. And we both love to do it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's not a...
Dr. Bill, have you done much in the outdoor industry?
In the outdoor industry?
Yeah.
As far as the industry is concerned, absolutely zero. Not one thing whatsoever. Nope.
Yep. And what do you do
I'm a foot and ankle surgeon. I mean, so that's really... I have an engineering degree. I worked as an engineer for about 8 years, and then I went back to school and did that thing, but now I'm working on getting into seed business.
Some guys,
it's the love for the whitetail.
It's just like some people are just never satisfied.
It's the chase, right? It's not That's great.
We mentioned that this morning. I'm going to get this quote wrong. It was Ben Franklin said, if you
find a job you love and never work a day in your life.
Right. If you do what you love every day, and which is something that we're passionate about, and this is something. I think that I was born 150 years too late. I always wanted to be a farmer, and I think I'd work out a lot better for me anyway.
I think that and it changes though. I mean, it changes as we evolve or get older. I think what we love kind of morphs into. I mean, when you're a child, everybody wants to be a firefighter or an astronaut or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, you kind of figure it out. Once you figure it out, it might take you a long time to figure it out. But
you know what? I started out, and I didn't want to be a pitcher for the Yankees or a firefighter. I wanted to be a seed guy.
Yeah,
but it just took a long time.
Good for you.
It's a little bit of a convoluted path. I don't know if I'd recommend that path, but ultimately, this is to end up the seed guy. That's it.
That's great.
That's what we're looking for.
And Brother Roy, what do you do?
I'm a timber cutter. I'm a logger. I'm out in the woods every day of my life, cutting big timber mainly.
Yeah.
Specialize in big timber. The stuff that the machines can't cut down.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
You raise your hand. I'm over here.
So you're cheating. You're out there hunting mushrooms while you're working.
Oh yeah. I find everything. I mean, I'm in the woods. If I'm not hunting in the fields or whatever, I'm in the woods every day of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to say, Roy's minimizing what he does there. I'm going to throw my partner a bone here because he's outdoorsman extraordinaire. I mean, I never saw anybody. Roy can walk through he can fly in a helicopter over top of a patch of woods, tell you what kind of trees are there, what's on the ground. You can
down to plants,
everything,
moss,
trees,
everything. I know
trees
it all.
I never even heard of. I said, "What is this tree?" Right, and he could identify them all, and whether it's anything from a tree to a blade of grass, and there's 100 different kinds of grass, and he'll differentiate one to the next. I'll say that's foxtail. No, that's not foxtail right there. I was pretty close, and he knows. I mean, so you minimize yourself there.
Yeah, you were arguing with me the other day. You said, "Look at all them weeds that are growing in our turnip field out there. Them yellow flowers on." I said, "That's not weeds." I said, "That's all our stuff went to seed." Nah, that's weeds. Look below in the corn. I said, "No, that's totally different. You got to look a little closer."
I checked them out. I got to tell you, I did check them out. I'm a checkout guy, and I checked them out, and I told him the next day. I said, "Hey, Roy, You were right, man. Just so you know. He said, yeah, I know that already. I just want to make sure that you know. I want you to know that I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
You guys make a good team.
Yeah.
That's
God willing. Okay.
Yeah, I think things will work out for us.
Yeah. So, well, we want to thank you guys both for coming on the show. And
I appreciate you even having us on the show.
Yeah,
appreciate
it. Yeah, a whole bunch. Yeah, sure enough.
Yep, showing us your big squirrels.
As one runs down to the bird feeder.
Yeah. No, we're in a little bit of a log cabin, or not a little bit. This is a straight up log cabin, beautiful home, and there's windows everywhere. Like you said, we're in this little
It used to be the porch. It used to be the porch.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Closed in
observation room.
Observation room is exactly. Yeah, it's got a little table and windows everywhere. And I mean, I'm having a hard time focusing. There's squirrels running down trees. We actually had a hummingbird fly into the window. Fly into the window.
And I've been sitting here watching, and I bet you I've seen 15 or at least 15 different species of bird hit that feeder in the time that we've been sitting here talking.
Yeah. And Roy's grandmother took us around and was talking to us about some of the taxidermy here. She's taken some. She got a turkey on the wall here that she got when she was 65 years old, and his grandfather's. Loved to hunt everything.
Everything, yeah. Hunt, fish. It was woods. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing this.
Sure enough.
Pig plot thing.
Yeah.
So he started out with an acre of ground planting, just planting an acre for the deer, and we come back and we're like, we'll help you out, and then the next thing you know, the following year we're up to 4 acres, then we're up to 5 acres, 6. So it's just it went crazy then.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yep.
Your grandmother and I were comparing elk ivory jewelry.
I seen that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she saw mine, and most of the time people always ask me what it is. She said, "Oh, I love your ring. Check out mine," and showed me her necklace.
She's like, "I have a whole set." Sean just has a ring.
Yeah, I just got the ring. So
that's great. Well, again, I just want to thanks for having you guys on and bringing a little bit more light to
us up to hunt
what you're doing and bringing us on board with all that. We're proud to help you out any way we can.
Oh, we
awesome.
appreciate it. Yeah, a whole bunch.
Absolutely. Sean, anything else?
That's all I got this week. Will, why don't you close us out?
All right. You've been listening to the Rutten River Pursuit podcast. You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. Stevie likes to download on CastBox. You can also find us on www.ruttenriverpursuits.com and
Facebook and Instagram for Rutten River Podcast.
Follow us, on all our social media properties.
We're out there. You just got to look.
Yep, both the podcast and us individually.
Yep.
My favorite right now is R2 Buck.
R2 Buck, he's blowing up Instagram.
He really is. The catfish is. He's getting some model credit.
Yeah, he's made it into this century.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Talk to you guys later.
See you. Thanks again.
This episode of R2 Pursuits is brought to you by Underground Sports Performance and Fitness. If you live in the central Pennsylvania region and you're looking for a gym with a community of people who are passionate about helping you get results, then check out the Underground in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The Underground boasts 12,000 square foot of training space, 15,000 pounds of free weights, and the best strength and cardio training equipment in the area. A huge turf area is also available for sports training of all ages. For more information or to schedule a consultation with one of the certified trainers, give them a call at 814-201-2163 or check them out online on Facebook or at undergroundsports.net. That's undergroundsports.net.
Thanks for listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. Follow the R2 Pro staff by searching Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next episode, we need to see you in the outdoors.